guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you guys how I apply my nail tips, and then we're going to get into some Polygel. So I've already pushed my cuticles back, and now I'm going in with a 180 grit sanding sponge, and I'm just removing the shine off of my natural nail. I'm going to brush away the excess dust, and then I'm going to take my dip base and just apply a little bit of the base to the well of the tip, and then I like to angle the tip down and slowly lift it up. I'm going to balance my finger on here just so that the tip doesn't end up crooked. But I just like to pull it forward. I'll hold it there for a second, and then I will pinch the sides. So if you guys saw my Facebook live a couple weeks back when I was showing my nail room, you guys saw me pull these tips out, but I told you I couldn't mention whose tips they were just yet because they were not available, but they are available now. These are nail tips from Triple D, and they are my brand new favorite. They are so thin, they're lightweight, they're just super comfortable to wear, and that's always been my issue with nail tips, is they're either too thick for me and they're too curved, which actually is uncomfortable for me to wear because not all of my nail tips, not all of my nails are curved. I do have a couple that are curved, but my middle finger, for some reason, is my flattest nail. But these tips are absolutely amazing, and they are available now on the website. She is selling them by size, which is actually really, really neat, because if you know what your sizes are, you can just order all the sizes that you need and not have to worry about having extra nail tips that you are never going to use. If you don't know what your sizes are, you can purchase a sample bag, which I believe will give you one of each size, and you can kind of figure out what sizes you are and then go back and order from there. But I will have everything linked down below as to what I am using in this video. This is a long video. I know I got requests to do Polygel and Builder Gel, the whole entire process from tip application to, you know, the gel and then dipping after. But I didn't include the dipping in this video just because it's already at like 40 minutes. And by the time I was done doing this Polygel, I was over it. But I'm just going to finish applying my nail tips really quick. So I will let you watch me finish this up, and I will be right back in a second. Alright, so my nail tips are applied, and now I'm just going in with my nail clippers and just trimming them down. I always like to trim my nails a bit longer than the length that they're going to actually be at the end, just because if you file too much, they'll end up shorter, and you can't add length, but you can take more length away. Now I'm just going to really quickly just kind of straighten out the tip and make sure that the side walls are flush. I don't do a whole lot of filing just the tips themselves, because you have to file after you apply the Polygel or whatever product you're going to use as an overlay, and then if you're going to dip over that, you have to file again. And I'm lazy and I don't want to make more work for myself if I don't need to. I am only going to show me just doing this one nail because y'all don't need to see all 5 fingers, and this video would have been even longer. But I'm just going to file up my index finger here, and then I'm going to go in with my e-file and get this nail prepped and ready for Polygel. So I sometimes like to go back and forth between a 100 grit file and a 180 grit file. I'm not really a big fan of 100 grit files though, to be honest. I like the 180 because I feel like I have a little bit more control over what I'm taking off, if that makes sense. So I am just going to, oh, and I like to use the 180 grit file on my sidewalls, just because I feel like it's a little bit more gentle. So I am just going to finish up shaping this nail. I'm going to go in with my sanding bit on my e-file and smooth the tip and make sure it's flush with my natural nail, and then I am going to do the rest of my nails off camera. So now I'm just going in with my sanding band, and I'm just going to focus just around the tip area, and you want to take the shine off of the nail tip also. But I'm just going to get this filed up, making sure the shine is off of the tip, making sure everything is nice and seamless. So I will let you guys watch and I will be right back. So all of my nails are now prepped for Polygel application, and I purchased the Beetles Polygel Extension Nail Kit off of Amazon. When I purchased it, I paid $57.99, and looking at it now on Amazon, it's on sale for $49.29. So you get these 3 little brochures, you get the application guide, you get the lamp guide, and then you get a pamphlet that just shows everything that's included in the kit. Here is the gel lamp that came with the kit. It does work. You get some dual forms, which obviously I'm not going to use. I'm not a fan of dual forms. The curve is just, it's too much for me, and with the curve being so sharp the way that it is, I always end up with gaps in between the dual form and my nail, and that's never good because that's how you get greenies. So you of course get the plug-in adapter for the gel lamp, and then you get these boxes which have the slip solution. This is a nail strengthener that you could do in between your like gel base and gel color if you weren't doing Polygel. And then you get the foundation gel, which is the base gel. you get a matte and also a shiny gel top coat. So I'm going to keep the foundation or the base gel out because you do need base gel for Polygel. You of course get the Polygels. I got the smaller set that just had these 3 colors. So you get clear, white, and pink. I wasn't gonna get like a whole lot of colored Polygel because I didn't know how I felt about it. So I didn't want to have a whole bunch of extra stuff if I wasn't gonna use it. Then you get this big bag of goodies. It comes with nail forms, and you get some glitters, you get some foils, you get a bunch of rhinestones, and you get the little thing of butterflies. These I'm going to use in an upcoming video at some point, those flame sticker things, and a bunch of rhinestones. You get a bunch of goodies in this set, so price wise it's not bad considering everything you're getting. You are getting the nail file. You of course are getting the brush that has, you know, the spatula on one end and the gel brush on the other, and you get a little set of tweezers and a bunch of striping tape. You get 5 different colors of striping tape, as you can see. So I might use them for another video, maybe in the fall. So here is the brush that you get, the dual-sided brush. I'm just going to open it up just so you guys can see. So on one end you get the spatula to, you know, scrape off the Polygel, and on the other side you get the brush. You do want to just push your fingers through it because all brushes, whether it be a gel brush or an acrylic brush or nail art brushes, they all come with packing powder in the bristles just so that they hold their shape during, you know, shipping and all that. So you do want to get some of that powder out of the brush. So now I'm going to get started with the Polygel. This is by no means a tutorial. This is my very first time doing Polygel. You guys wanted to see it, so here you go. So I am going to go in and just apply a thin layer of the foundation, which is the gel base, to all of my nails, and then I'm going to give it a 30-second cure, and I will be right back. Alright, so the gel base is cured, and now I'm going to open up the clear Polygel. In the cap over to the left, I put some alcohol in there that I'm going to use as the slip solution. This did come with slip solution, and I had it in the cap in the beginning when I was applying the base, but I was not aware that this slip solution was actually a gel, and it came in contact with my light and it cured. That, and I think it was just really super watery, so I'm kind of glad I went with the alcohol anyway. So I am just applying a bead of the Polygel, and I'm dipping my gel brush into the alcohol just to help it move around. So let's talk Polygel. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. This is my first time playing around with this stuff. It moved around pretty easy, but I think my issue was knowing how much alcohol to get on my brush, because it seemed like at times it was too watery, and then at times it would be too dry. So if I'm just being 100% honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the Polygel. I like the builder gel where I don't need to use any kind of slip solution. It goes on just like butter, and it doesn't have a weird texture to it. I guess it's the OCD, but I am very much a texture person, and I totally understand that, you know, Polygel is a hybrid gel. If you didn't know, it's not pure gel product. Polygel is a mix of gel with acrylic, and this stuff just felt super gritty, because it's messy, and a little bit did, you know, get on my fingers here and there. I did wipe it before I put it into the lamp, but I just felt like I could not get the powder, you know, that gritty powder off. So I am just applying my Polygel. I'm doing the best I can to get it nice and flush around my cuticles and my sidewalls. I don't worry too much about creating an apex with any product that I do as an overlay on tips or my natural nail, and the reason being is because most of the time I like to be able to do, you know, quick fill-ins, especially with my builder gel, and it's just so much easier if I just do the overlay kind of flat. I like to contour my apex out of my dip powder on the top. And when you do an overlay, if you build the apex, which you totally can, it's, you know, totally up to you, personal preference. I just like to create the least amount of work for myself. Because when you go to fill it in, if you let Polygel or acrylic or dip or whatever go for a couple weeks and then you go to fill it in, you're going to have to file down more where that apex was, because you're going to have to rebalance your nail, because you need to make sure that the apex is at your stress point of your nail. So when that grows out after a couple of weeks, you're going to have to file that down to rebalance your nail. I would rather just do a flat overlay, because I do peel base and then I dip, you know, over top of the peel base. So for me, it's just so much easier to just contour that apex out of the dip over top. That way, when I go to change out my mani, I just pop off my peel base and I can just do a really quick fill if I need to. So I am going to let you guys watch me attempt to do these Polygel nails. They do turn out fine in the end, but I'm gonna let you guys watch me do this for a bit and I will pop back in soon. So keep on watching. So I did just want to pop back in real quick and let you guys know that in between each nail, I am just kind of popping it into the gel lamp just for like 10-15 seconds, just because I wanted to make sure that the gel stayed where I put it. I don't know if I was using too much alcohol, but it did seem to move around a little bit on me, you know, while I was doing other nails. So I did just want to give it a quick little flash cure in between. And I do just want to apologize in advance. I wasn't able to show filing and buffing and all that stuff, but I honestly didn't file and buff the Polygel after too much anyway, because I knew I was going to dip over it. I really just hand buffed with a buffer block just to get the surface smooth enough, and then I just applied my peel base and I dipped over it. But this mani took so long applying this Polygel, my phone ended up dying and I didn't even realize it. But luckily you do get to see the full Polygel application. It just kind of died in when I started to do a little bit of filing and shaping and all that. So I do have a little bit of a photo at the end for you guys, just of the full finished mani with the dip over it, which you guys saw a sneak peek picture of that. It was the mani on my hand when I did my last video, my Marla Chris collab. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it up here in the cards for you. But like I said, as far as Polygel goes, I am doing my best, so be nice to me in the comments. I'm sure I'm doing stuff wrong, and I know a bunch of you actually really like Polygel. Maybe if I practice with it, I'll get a little better, but I don't know. It's just a texture thing for me. Maybe it was just this kind of Polygel. I also found that when I put my hand in the lamp, you know, to do the full cure at the end, it said it would take like 60 seconds to 2 minutes for it to fully cure. For me, it took like 4 minutes in the lamp, because Polygel doesn't cure with a sticky inhibition layer, so you're supposed to cure it until it is all the way dry. That took forever, you guys. So, but you guys wanted to see my first Polygel experience, so here you go. On Friday, you guys will see my builder gel video. I did not include me applying the tips for that one just because you could see it in this video. So yeah, and then I am impatiently waiting for my Kiara Sky Jelly tips to come in so I can do a full coverage extension video for you guys. It was supposed to be here the beginning of the week, last week. So I'm still waiting on those to come in. So as soon as I get that video, I will rush it and do it as soon as they come in and get that video uploaded for you guys. The Polygel, I did keep this set on for a little over a week just because I was like, I did not go through all this work just to take them off in like 3 days. So let's talk removal of Polygel. You're gonna have to take a day off to remove this stuff because it took forever. I think this one hand that I did the Polygel in took like an hour and 40 minutes for it to all come off. And I trimmed, you know, I cut the nails as far down as I could until they were even with my natural nails underneath, and it still took forever for the Polygel to come off. I do know a lot of people will kind of soak off for a little bit and then file and then continue to soak off. I don't like to file because, for one, if you're filing, you know, product that's like half soaked off, it tends to gunk up your file, and I'm not trying to ruin my nail files. I also don't want to potentially do any damage to my natural nails, so I prefer to just soak off all the way with my heating pad method. If you're not aware of what that is, I take a gallon Ziploc bag, I throw a paper towel in it with some acetone and like a teaspoon or so of coconut oil, and I stick the whole bag into my heating pad, and I crank my heating pad up on high, and I put my hand in there and I just soak. So I can only imagine how much longer this would have taken if I would have been soaking in just straight cold acetone. I will tell you that when I do the heating pad removal method with just dip, my dip is off in like 5-6 minutes. So just a little bit of info for you there. But I will let you guys watch me finish up my Polygel application, and I'll be right back. right, so I am working on my final finger here. I am gonna go back in and just add a little bit of Polygel in certain areas as I need to. But the video is pretty much almost over. When I was done my thumb and I went to pop my whole hand into my lamp for the final cure, that is when my phone died and I did not realize it. So the color that I did the dip over top, because I did get a couple of questions about that in my last video when you guys saw that mani, I mixed. They're both from Triple D. I will leave them linked in the box for you guys as well. It is Confident and Fairy Flakes, and I just mixed them together and it's so pretty. The color is just so gorgeous. It's a great flaky fall color. I love mixing flakes with solid colors. It's just so stinking pretty. But anyway, you guys are gonna have to let me know your thoughts on Polygel. I really don't want to judge it based off of one brand, so I am thinking about purchasing and trying out the McCart Polygel. I've heard good things about that Polygel. I've also heard really good things about this Beetles Polygel, and it's not bad Polygel. It's really not. I think it's just because it's my first time using it and I don't know 100% what I'm doing. But you guys wanted to see Polygel, you wanted to see my first attempt at it, so that looked like snot. So this is my first attempt at the Polygel thing. If you want to see more videos on Polygel, please let me know and I will practice and do more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in my next one. Bye guys.